After a fantastic feature race here in Monza, the drivers will now focus for the sprint race, but first and foremost they have to focus on the qualifying to get their 2 bonus points from there, and it was Sebastian Vettel once again snatching pole position with a 122.8, with his teammate locking out the front row for Team Germany just 2 tenths back. Bottas lines up P3 for Finland, with Fernando Alonso lining himself for Team Spain in P4, with Nasser again impressing a lot of people here with P5 for Team Brazil, with Grosjean in P6 for Team France. Raikkonen lines up in P7, Hamilton, our teammate, in P8, and ourselves in P9, 4 tenths off the pace, and me and Hamilton setting identical times along with Raikkonen, which was quite a shock to see. And then a 1,000th second back is Jarno Trulli for P10 for Team Italy, with Carlos Sainz in 11th and Stoffel van Dorn in P12. The rest of the grid, if you want to find out where your driver is, guys, which isn't in the top 12, then make sure to check out the pinned comment, or in the description, guys, a link to the spreadsheet, the official spreadsheet of the Nations Cup done by my good friend Lambrex as well. So if you want to find out where your driver is, click in there and look at the time as well. But it's now time for the sprint race here at Monza. It's race time, guys. It's the sprint race for race number 2 of the meeting here in Monza, and it is very, very overcast right now. Could be some signs of rain in the horizon, so we'll have to wait and see what Jeff has got in store for the drivers here today for the last race of this meeting, as I mentioned, at the famous Monza circuit, one of the fastest and the shortest race on the calendar we'll have this season. It is great to drive around this track. And I want you guys to give me some thoughts in the comments below of the series. Any teams that you want me to bring in for Season 2 potentially, and some drivers as well. We've had quite a few good suggestions already from in the previous videos in Germany. So I would love to hear your feedback, guys. And yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone for the support on the series. It's just been great to do. And it is great to get back into editing as well, which you guys know I haven't done quite a while. So here's the formation up anyway. We've got the 2 Germany cars leading the way, with Finland and Spain taking the 3rd and 4th positions. But we're going to head straight to the end of the formation now, which you can see it is already raining on the main straight. So that has given me the indication that if this rain intensifies even more, we could be definitely seeing the inters and maybe even the possibility of wet tyres at the end of the race, which could play a little spanner in the works for a few teams here. But we'll wait and see as we line up next to our teammate Lewis Hamilton, and then we've got Raikkonen ahead of us for Team Finland, and Grosjean in that Team France car, as well as we are ready to go then for the start of the sprint race here in Monza. The lights are on and we're about to go racing for 13 laps at Monza. The lights are on, away we go. It's a great start from us, and also as well, Jarno Trulli gets a good start as well for Team Italy. We're going to go 3 wide down the straight towards turn 1, and we're going to play the safe option here, just back out as Trulli goes completely dive bomb mode and moves up to P6. What a start from the Team Italy driver right there. And we're going to get a good exit on Raikkonen as we move up into the top 10. What a great start that is from us. We're going to get a lovely bit of slipstream on Nasser, who had an impressive performance in Germany, as we're going to get some slipstream from our teammate Lewis Hamilton and get past Nasser. I'm going to try and outbrake our teammate then, but we back out of it, trying to be safe as possible on the first lap, and we hold on to the position of Felipe Nasser, and we move up to P8. So it's a great start from us already, but the rain is getting intensifying right now. It is getting heavier as we go along through this lap. It's dry at the minute at this part of the lap, but once you break into the middle, the end of the middle sector onto the final sector, the rain is getting very hard right now, guys. It is going to be puddles by the end of this race. We can see as Hamilton makes the move on Jarno Trulli and moves up to P6 for Great Britain. And Trulli's had a poor exit on his home patch here for Team Italy. All the Prancing Horses fans of Ferrari would be hoping to cheer him on because he's an Italian, but unfortunately we've just got some OP straight line speed there and pass him as well. And now out of nowhere, Nasser dives down the inside and moves up to P7. So we got a bit caught out there by Felipe, but we're going to come back at him now with the straight line, as Pascal Verdun will lead this race then after the first lap. So we're going to get a lovely run here and trying to keep up there with Valtteri Bottas and Lewis Hamilton, as Hamilton has got past Bottas and moves up to P5, and he's fighting with Fernando Alonso. So we have to wait and see as they come out of turn 2. And there's been an incident behind. There's been a pile-up, which I can suspect Normally, in this situation, the safety car will come out, so we have to wait and see if that is the case, and it is indeed, and we nearly went into the back of Bottas there as soon as the safety car flag came out there, so that was a bit of a scary one for us, but we'll take it on the chin. Now, at this point, I was thinking, do we pit at the end of this lap? It is going to get wet, but we don't know how long it's going to be until it's completely intermediate territory on the track, so I take the very bold decision, which you'll see in 1 moment's time on your screens. At the end of the second lap, we are going to be the only ones hitting at the end of lap 2, and we're going to jump onto a set of the intermediate tyre. Very risky, and we just got to hope and pray that the track is wet enough for intermediates by the time we go green flag racing. So can the Team GB boys get a good pit stop here? The answer to that question is yes. What a stop that was, 2 seconds for that pit stop there from myself, so it's a great one there. We've all come out in last place, but we are the only drivers, remember, on a set of the intermediate conditions, because sometimes the AI pits under the safety car, which is a bit not like straight away like we did. They pit when all the cars are all in a straight line, so it's a bit of a weird one, as you will see where we come out once all the drivers make their pit stops here, as quite a few of them actually pit, and you'll see in a minute a bit of a strange moment with the game really, with the safety car and the AI cars, which is a bit strange. But we're going to go all the way to the end of lap 5 when the safety car is coming in, and we're up to provisional P3 as Will Power and I don't know who is ahead of that, I think it's Kimi Raikkonen, have not made their pit stops. Grosjean will be the net race leader at the end of there as we go green flag racing, as Will Power and Raikkonen go into the pits to take their first pit stops. But we're going to go down the inside of Sebastian Vettel and move up to P2 already, and Alonso is looking for a cheeky move on the inside of Vettel, but Vettel will hold the position. But Romain Grosjean, Mr. Baguette himself, is leading this race for Team France, and this would be a great scenario for Grosjean, and he will pick up probably maybe his first official win in like an F1 style car, which will be quite good. He came so close once in the F1 World Championship, but we'll have to wait and see, as we're on to the end of lap 6 now. And we're going into a Ascari, and we make a little bit of a moment there, going too deep into the corner and just keeping it within the track limits. But Sebastian Vettel now on the back of us right now as we come down the back straight towards Parabolica. Here comes Vettel leading a train featuring Alonso and our teammate Lewis Hamilton. Vettel's going down the inside into Parabolica. We have a lock up on the front left, but we just about keep it on the track there, and we actually hold the position around the outside of Vettel, so we hold on to P2 for the time being. Remember guys, no DRS is enabled in wet conditions, so that is only our saving grace. But you know guys, the straight line OP-ness of these cars, we're going to have to try and defend, as Alonso's coming in now to try and make it free wide, but he backs out of it. But we're side by side with Sebastian Vettel going through turns 1 and 2. We're going to keep it as tight as possible, but we get the good exit. We hold on for P2 for the time being in this race, but the back end slides out there on Power, so it's very cautious that we get that throttle input absolutely spot on in this race, especially in these conditions if they're getting worse. But we go purple in the first sector, which is quite a surprise really, as we clip the curb there, which unsettles the car on the back end side of things, but we keep it clean and collectful as we try to hunt down Romain Grosjean, who is still putting away from us. The gap is around about 2 to 3 seconds as it stands right now, but we've got to keep an eye on that Team Germany car, Sebastian Vettel. We know how quick he is, as we saw earlier on in the season in Germany, not in the first race, but in the sprint race, he was pretty quick on there. So we're going to try and go down the inside, and we've got a yellow flag out, and Sebastian Vettel behind us is out of this race, and he's putting off to the side. He's got a blown engine there, lads. He is out of the Italian Grand Prix in this sprint race. Not what Team Germany need at this point, with them leading the team championship at this point. And we've got another yellow flag out as well, and I don't know who that's for. It's Valtteri Bottas. So in the space of a corner, we've lost 2 big names in this race. We've lost Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas. So that is not what we want, but because of that, Hamilton moves up to P3, and we've got Team GB on the podium, which is great for us right now. But as you can see, Grosjean is still extending his lead by only a small amount of a gap. But this is not what we want. We want to try and pull off a win here for JB. As you guys know, JB is pretty good in these conditions. So we have to wait and see if we can crawl back some time on Grosjean and give him a fight right down to the end of the wire. Right now, we've got to keep an eye on fuel as well. Fuel is a bit of an issue around this track, so we've got to keep an eye on that right now. Take a beautiful line for a score as Pascal Wehrlein gets ahead of our teammate Lewis Hamilton, so he moves up to P3 for Team Germany. So Germany need as many points as possible really to try and keep the lead of the team's championship right now. But we go on to lap 11 then, and we've got Romain Grosjean losing a bit of time actually. Go aggressive over the curb there on turn 1, which unsettles the car. We have a bit of a poor exit there, but it's nothing we can do as Hamilton moves back up to P3 after passing Pascal Wehrlein on the main straight there. So we are going to have to really push right now if we've got any chance of winning this race in the sprint race here this afternoon, as we get a little bit late on the brakes there, but we get the corner absolutely perfectly. We go purple again in that first sector, and we are closing in on that French baguette ahead of us of Romain Grosjean, who obviously represents Team Haas in real life, but here he's representing France. And Jeff just informing us there that Grosjean is leading this one as we go very wide, coming on to the straight where the DRS would be, and we lose a little bit of time to Grosjean, which is not what we want. Hamilton still ahead of Pascal Wehrlein in the battle for P3, and so we're both pulling away from that battle right now. And again we have a lock up there on the front right this time, but we just about keep it in within the track limit, but we are still losing a little bit of time as the back end slides out there on power. We've still got to be careful of that throttle input that we are struggling with at this point. As we can see, we're getting very close to Grosjean as we're coming on to the final lap then of the sprint race, and the weather, it is really pouring it down with rain right now. No need for wets, but it's going to be very tricky on this last lap here. As you can see, we're losing already 3 seconds, almost that lap, 3 seconds there already, so that is a clear sign that the wets are coming very soon if we were doing a 50% race in this one, but unfortunately we're not going to get that. And we can see Hamilton's still in P3 at the minute, so he's doing a great job here for Team GB, but our main focus right now is that French baguette ahead of us, and can we close him in and try and pull off a remarkable victory on the last lap of this race. We had a classic last time in Germany in the sprint race. Are we going to have another repeat once again? We'll have to wait and see, as the gap is under a second right now, so we are really closing in on Grosjean as we come in to this middle sector, which we've had a bit of issues with during the race there. We have a little bit of a twitch, pushes us a little bit wide than we would have liked, but we're still in that slipstream of Grosjean. We run a little bit wide again, missing the curb there, which would have given us a really good exit there. We're just going to have to short shift here and try and reduce the rear traction so we don't spin the tyres up and lose the back end. But we're coming down the straight then, coming into a sky for the final time then in this race. We're really giving it everything we've got right now. We've closed a 10th on Grosjean in the middle sector, but it's just, I think it's too little too late right now. Grosjean had a great exit out of Ascari, and all we can do right now is just wait and pray if Grosjean has an incident here in the final corner. But we're going to give it everything we've got to close it down right now. As we go through Parabolica for the final time, it is going to be a new winner in the Nations Cup, as Romain Grosjean will win the sprint race here in Monza under treacherous conditions right now. A great win for him and Team France, but Great Britain will get second place with JB. What a great performance from him, and a great way to help out his country. But here are the classified results then of the race, with Grosjean winning by only 6/10 of a second from myself, with Pascal Wehrlein getting P3 from Lewis Hamilton just at the line as well, with Fernando Alonso in P5 for Team Spain, with his teammate Carlos Sainz in P6. Nick de Vries gets Netherlands some decent points in P7, with Stoffel van Dorm in P8, with Jarno Trulli P9 for Team Italy, and Giovinazzi getting a point as well for Team Italy. So at least Italy gets some good points on the board for their country. Raikkonen comes home in 11th place in the field, with Daniel Ricciardo in 12th place for Team Australia. Next up, Sergio Perez for Team Mexico in 13th, with Gutierrez lining up himself in 14th. Ocon in France for P15, so a bit of a contrast already for Team France today, with Nasser in P16, who was at the front at the start of this race. Will Power in P17 for Team Australia, great performance from him. I think it's one of his best results of the season. Jerome D'Ambrosio in 18th with Felipe Massa, and Max Verstappen completing the field, with both Valtteri Bottas and Sebastian Vettel retiring from the race with both engine failures. So that's a bit of a first that to see that on the space of one corner, 2 drivers retiring from this one. But let's now focus on where the teams stand after the 2 race meetings so far in the Nations Cup. So Team Germany lead the way then on 100 points, with Great Britain back up to P2 on 80 points. Then it's Team Spain on 70 in P3. Then it's Brazil on 63. And then the big movers of this Nations Cup sprint race here in Monza are Team France, with their victory here today for Grosjean. Moves them off the bottom of the championship up to 5th place on 26 points. Then 2 points back from them is Team Belgium. Then we've got Finland on 18. Italy are next on 15, then it's the Netherlands, the last of the double digits, on 12, then it's Team Mexico on 8, and Team Australia complete the field on 4 points. But that has been the latest round of the Nations Cup, guys. The next race meeting is in Albert Park, Australia, which will be out next week, guys. But it could be earlier, guys, if you smash the like button. If you get over 150 likes, guys, I would immediately upload the next episode, guys, of the Nations Cup. So make sure to keep an eye out for that one. And Australia will be the first opportunity for you guys to vote for which one of the tracks that are going to be in the community vote, which will be put in as the viewer's choice, which will be streamed on this channel as well, just to give you guys a heads up as well. But until then, make sure to like the video, guys, subscribe for more of the Nations Cup and other F1 content. Until next time, have a great day, guys, and I shall see you very soon for Australia. Until then, it's goodbye from me. Take care.